To the parents in the audience, statistically, I know there's at least a few of you out there. What did you think about when you wanted to name your newborn? Did you have like a boy or a girl name that you agreed upon with your partner like ahead of time that you always had in your head? Maybe you named it after someone in your life, like a beloved family member who might have passed away tragically, or a name that means a lot to you or that you just always like the sound of. Hell, you could have even named it after something that's not directly related to you. What if you were gonna name your kid after a video game that has not even come out yet? Hey fellas, Onus here, and welcome back to With a Y. And today I have something for you that's almost like a story time video for me, because this goes back to something I remember seeing almost 20 years ago when in my youth. I'm sure we all know Bethesda Game Softworks, the studio behind such hits as the Fallout games and the Elder Scrolls like Skyrim. They've had a bit of reputational damage done to them in recent years, where a lot of people are just kinda against them because they think their output hasn't been great. I think the Doom games have been fantastic and they've had heaters here and there, but you know, their biggest franchises haven't been as magical to many as they were when they were younger. Some people think they're stagnant, all that sort of stuff, and they have this reputation of microtransactions. They often get blamed as the progenitors of the microtransaction hell we live in now by the addition of horse armor and Oblivion, actually 20 years ago these days. But the scam I wanted to bring my attention to you is actually one that wasn't a scam at all, because supposedly they fulfilled exactly what they told us they were going to do. Back in 2011, at the release of Skyrim, Bethesda had this now deleted blog post, one that you can't even find on the Wayback Machine, at least I couldn't pull it up, where they basically said that if you have a kid on November 11th, 2011, the release date of Skyrim, and you name them Dovahkiin, they would give you free Bethesda games for life. A lot of people took this as a goof, a gaffe, a little joke they would never follow up on, because it's ridiculous. Who the fuck is gonna name their kid not just Dragonborn or Skyrim, which you can shorten down to Sky pretty reasonably? No, Dovahkiin, some shit in the dragon language that isn't fucking real. And also because in their initial blog post, they had this tongue-in-cheek little thing for anybody who is seriously considering this. You might get free games for life, but they had this to say: any reward for completing this quest will not ultimately justify the potential teasing your child could, and probably will, endure over its lifespan. Bethesda Softworks is not responsible for your parenting. You may gain experience points for completing this quest, but you will not care at 3 a.m. on a worknight. Completion of this quest may also result in decreased desire to play video games and/or function as a human being. Consult with your friends before embarking on this quest. While it may not start in prison, it probably ends there. They had some fucking heaters back in the day, man. They were proper tongue-in-cheek, and it does make you scenario craft. What is the life of a hypothetical child who gets named Dovahkiin gonna be like, especially in this very anti-Bethesda, easy-to-farm for views on YouTube reality we live in? Would the fact that he's named after the one people like in recent memory, Skyrim, actually get him some brownie points now that video games are a more acceptable pastime and he's named after one of the most popular ones? Or would he get teased that he has a bunch of secret siblings that are also named Dovahkiin because Skyrim has been re-released 20 times at this point? Well, you don't really have to speculate that much, because someone actually did go through with this challenge. This picture of the reddest baby I've ever seen looks like Thanos before he got cast as Josh Brolin. Next to 2 copies of Skyrim is named Dovahkiin Kellermeyer. Megan and Eric Kellermeyer actually named their baby, who they realized was going to be born on November 11th, 2011, Dovahkiin. And it kind of took the difficulty of choosing the name of your kid out of the equation, because you were just able to fucking go with the thing that's gonna get me free video games from a studio I like for life! When the couple heard about this whole thing, they decided to go through with the actual decision to name their kid this, and they called him Dovahkiin Tom Kellermeyer. I feel like he's gonna get called Tom throughout his life, if we're being honest. They squared the whole thing away with Bethesda, confirmed that they did this shit for real, in IRL, and now they get that shit for life. I remember when this story made the rounds when I was 11, I was genuinely flabbergasted and was wondering, man, why couldn't I have been born in 2011 and get free Bethesda video games for life? Now I realize that probably would have led to me just having my brain absolutely fucking melted by social media, because it would just be inundating me at all times. I got kind of lucky, man. I was born in 2000, which kind of makes me one of those last chopper out of Nam babies. But the family did think about this decision, and they actually had some things to say about it on their personal blog when asked about it. We conceived long before hearing of the Bethesda challenge, but it's been a tough year and I wanted to do something special for my son. My daughter has a unique name, and I wanted to give him a unique name as well. I am so picky about boy names that I was having a lot of trouble finding just the right one, she wrote. We've toyed with Dovahkiin and the ramifications of naming a child that name. Yeah, there's a lot to think about there. Bethesda was literally one of the biggest proponents of not fucking naming your kid that, but then they decided to sweeten the deal by getting free games from them for life. I wonder if that deal continued under Microsoft. But no, this couple was like, we're gonna barrel through anyways. And that name being based on a video game character, however awesome and what impact that would have on them. But the more I thought of it, the more I settled on Dovahkiin, contest or no. Like, they might have fucking done this thing whether they were getting a prize for it or not. Listen, I have several trans friends who chose their names based off something they really liked. Maybe it was a character in a movie, or indeed a video game character. And like, there's this running joke online of how trans people will name themselves like the craziest shit. Like, I don't know, fucking Pebble. And you might giggle a little bit, but ultimately it's like somebody choosing to do that for themselves as they become the person they were always meant to be. Great stuff, no problem there. But when you're naming a kid, I think everybody has the idea in their head that you have a responsibility to that child to name them something that won't get them fucking bullied. Like, you've heard the term, man, your parents must hate you naming you that. But usually people will say that about normal names. Like, oh, your parents named you fucking Derek. They must want you to get bullied. And that's like all tongue in cheek. And you know, I'm not trying to actually dunk on these parents too much. They put some thought into it. Apparently their friends and family didn't though. It helps we told all our friends and family, and very few were opposed to the idea. My mom thought it was neat. Here's the safety pick though. He will have a perfectly normal and common middle name if the first name becomes too much for him or us, or we just want to call him a nickname. I think that's like a fairly reasonable approach to it, man. Like, you just fucking go by Tom if the thing bothers you too much. And if the kid never actually learns how to spell his real first name, then like he can change it to just Tom when he's old. Now, the scam of this all is if these guys actually got those free Bethesda games for life. And from my understanding, they did. That little baby named Dovahkiin is now like turning 15 later this year. So they are old enough to know what it is they were named after and to potentially get into the source material that inspired their label. The part that might feel like a scam is the shit that came out in the years following their birth. Bethesda was on a crazy run back in the day. Like, they did Fallout 3, they did Skyrim 3 years later, they had Oblivion. It might have seemed like they were just getting games of that quality forever for life from that point on. And you know, it seemed like that might have held strong in the first few years after that child's birth. The first game Bethesda released after Skyrim? Dishonored. Wow, what a great fucking showcase for the sort of things you might be getting as this kid grows up. I'm gonna assume that re-releases count in this. Like, there was like a slate of Doom re-releases that came up, which is pretty cool considering what was gonna come in like the not too distant future after these. You have the Elder Scrolls Online, which a lot of people think was kinda trash back in the day, but I hear is actually a pretty good MMO these days. The thing is though, like, does the subscription for life come included when they give you that? The details were never made public to us, man. They might have only been given the physical copy that you had to purchase and then continue to spend money for a monthly subscription for after the fact. Then you get Wolfenstein New Order. That's a pretty good fucking game, man. Then you get The Evil Within, then Wolfenstein Old Blood only a year after Wolfenstein New Order. That's pretty solid, dude. Like, it's looking like the track record is like coming down the pipeline. Fallout 4, it's a bit divisive. Some people like it more than others, but like, it has like a very strong fan base, and like, it hit on a lot of Bethesda's core principles that people fucked with. And then 2016, this is the one I would have cheesed over the hardest. Fucking Doom 2016 for free? Like, holy shit. Maybe as the Doom re-releases came out, the parents were playing those in front of baby Dovahkiin and just getting him propagandized in the series so that like when this game finally came out, he was perfectly primed to enjoy it, man. That would have been a fucking great streak. Then Dishonored 2 comes out, also great. Elder Scrolls Legend, it's like an iOS game, so it's whatever. Then fucking Prey in 2017, dude. This like must feel like the best investment these parents have ever fucking made. I know that dad was more of a gamer than the mom. Holy shit, he must have been eating good, dude. Quick Champions, it's whatever, like not a whole lot of people played it. Then The Evil Within 2, then Wolfenstein 2, the new Colossus, and then everything starts to go downhill from here, fellas. In 2018, when I personally came of age, Fallout 76 released, and I don't really think people were too excited to get that one. I'm told, once again, it's in a better state these days, and like every single Microsoft Direct, I have to hear about the new DLC coming to Fallout 76 for fucking free, when I've never given a shit about it. If that's your thing, more power to you. But then you get Elder Scrolls Blades, which is a mobile game, Rage 2. Did anybody even play Rage 1? You get, I think, the most hated Wolfenstein game of like the new era of them. There's like some things to like here, Doom Eternal, and then like the Doom 64 remaster, but you might be noticing that like these proper console releases are getting further and further apart. Quake Remaster, then you have Deathloop, which, you know, I've heard good things about, but I couldn't get into it as much as a game like Prey or Dishonored. You got Ghostwire Tokyo, fucking, sure, dude. The one that was supposed to be a PlayStation exclusive, but then Microsoft bought Bethesda, but because of the contracts had to stay on PlayStation as an exclusive for at least a year. Hi-Fi Rush, great addition, maybe one of the only universally beloved ones in recent memory of these, but then releases are getting farther and farther apart, and it's Redfall, the multiplayer game from the studio really famous for making single-player immersive sims. Yep, great idea, great idea. Starfield, not necessarily a dog shit game, but certainly underwhelming and not what we wanted from, like, the next mainline Bethesda studio. Remasters, mobile game, Indiana Jones, pretty good, but it's already on Game Pass. Oblivion Remastered, pretty good. Doom the Dark Ages, very solid. I still need to finish it. And then fucking nothing in 2026, man. Like, the quality of the output just degraded. That baby's gaming literacy just fell off a fucking cliff after 2018. And it's, like, really a shame, man. Like, the namesake that it was given, it's not really getting to reap the full benefits of now that it's, like, in its actually conscious and sentient years. So yeah, Scam was definitely an over-exaggerated joke title, but in a sense, it was the greatest scam Bethesda ever got away with. Be sure to follow me on Twitter at @withany. That email's in the description if you guys want to send me any video topics. If you have any, like, weird, funny stories like this one of, like, gaming companies or really any odd marketing campaigns that would make for, like, fun little one-offs, that I would like to hear about those, be sure to drop a like and subscribe with notifications on. Anyways, piss off.